Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Saterra. If you're new here, welcome. If you have watched my previous videos, welcome back. Today I wanted to talk about something that's been sitting on my heart for the last week, and it's just about trusting yourself. And I want to start off by saying trusting yourself is not about having all the answers or knowing everything. It's about the willingness to listen. I feel like a lot of us have lost trust in ourselves through circumstances like postpartum, stress, relationships, needing validation, and through survival. I did make bullet points that you'll see me looking down at just because I don't want to lose my train of thought and end up making a 20-minute video like my last videos. But at some point, we have to realize that we have been outsourcing our information, our intuition. What not trusting yourself looks like: second guessing decisions that you already felt were right, looking for signs, validation, or permission outside of yourself, overthinking a feeling, and knowing the answer but ignoring it. I do feel like we are all guilty of living in our head. A lot of us overthink every last decision that we make when the subtle answer had already been given a long time ago. And sometimes we overthink to the point of no return. Well, we overthink to the point that we feel there's no return, but there's always a return. Because just listen to that small nudge, that subtle feeling of knowing, that inner guidance that's trying to take you where you need to go or want to go. Second guessing, that's kind of like that when you feel you should turn right but you turn left, and then you turn right and realize you have to turn around to go left. Looking for signs, validation, and permission outside of yourself. We are all guilty of this at some point. We're on social media, we're scrolling, we're looking at this person, that person, this influencer, this person, and we don't realize that they're only showing a very small percentage of their life. And through that, you're perceiving it as a certain type of way that ultimately shifts your perception. And now you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're not looking with the true eyes, the trusting eyes. You're looking through the lens of comparison. We have to stop that. Knowing the answer but ignoring it. That's that same thing with the following your first mind. The shift. Learning to listen again. Trusting yourself starts in the body, not in the mind. I know you heard the saying, your gut is your first mind, and that's because it is. We'll feel it here before we feel it here. And if you listen to this instead of this, you'll go in the right direction. Quiet moments, meditation, stillness, and clarity. You know, here I talk about meditation a whole lot. That's my thing. That's like sitting in quiet, those quiet moments without my children. Like I love those moments. I'm the type of person who can sit by myself for so long without not once turning on the TV, scrolling on my phone. Like eventually I'll do it, but initially I can sit there for a minute. And I remember, a while back, I was somebody who was always bored. I had to constantly be stimulated. I had to watch TV. I had to go somewhere. I had to have company. I had to be on the phone. Like, no, now I love my quiet moments. Yeah, and when I started to tap more into that quietness, that's when my intuition got louder. It doesn't happen until you slow down. And then the last point that I made or want to make here is you don't force intuition. You create space for it. And that's kind of just like what we were saying. When you are sitting in quiet and you're listening to nothing but your inner dialogue and you can hear God speak to you, those are the moments where you start to build trust, when you're obedient to what it is that you hear. And the more you listen and it proves to be right, you'll just know naturally, like, hey, let me tap in. Let me meditate on it. Let me pray about it, you know, whatever, however it is that you find that moment, that's where it all happens. Trust grows through action, not certainty. You don't wait until you're confident to trust yourself. So that's what we were just talking about, right? That's when you actually, like, you're just like, okay, let me follow my first mind. And the more you do it, the more confident you become. If you wait until you're confident, you'll be waiting forever, because how can you become confident about something that you never tested out? You you trust yourself by taking the step away. By taking the step away. And so what I meant when I wrote that was kind of just like, if you're trying to be in control and you think that whatever you know is more accurate than that inner wisdom, you'll never learn to trust. But that moment you step away, you surrender to the need to know everything, and you just follow that inner wisdom, that inner guidance that's showing you the direction, or telling you the direction in which to go, you'll be untouchable. There's nothing no one in this world could ever tell you outside of the portal that's giving you the information directly. Every time you honor a small nudge, your trust compounds. That goes off what we just said. And for myself, I didn't become confident until I aligned. So it was through all of what I'm saying is how I became aligned enough to trust that my intuition is guiding me in the right direction. So this is a big one. Release the fear of being wrong. Fear of mistakes keep people stuck. I don't really even think that needs much explanation. If you think that your intuition is wrong because it's so quiet that you always follow the loud and wrong person in the room, yourself that's in your head, then you'll always need to be redirected. You'll always have to correct something. You'll always have to go back and fix what it was that you did, because you don't listen, because you feared you were wrong. That's when that anxiety kick in. How are you afraid of something that you never tested out? Being wrong is feedback, still guidance. So it's like the more you prove yourself to be wrong, the quicker you'll start to listen to yourself. Nothing I follow from intuition has ever harmed me. It only redirected me. And I am somebody who I feel like I'd rather try 20,000 things and say that I tried 20,000 things, even if they weren't what I knew that I was supposed to do. So then I can kind of like put that in the back pocket, like, okay, I tried that, I did that, I didn't listen. So now I'll get to take whatever I learned from that and apply it to the next thing. Self-trust is a relationship. I'll say it again. Self-trust is a relationship. Listening, responding, and not abandoning yourself. Every time I ever ignored myself, it weakened the relationship. Because had I just listened in the first place, I would have had acquired the confidence to know that my intuition is never wrong, ever. And I tell people this all the time. I'm like, it's nothing you can tell me just because I done did so much and I listen. I'm very obedient to God. I'm very obedient to my higher self. I'm very obedient to that inner wisdom, that inner guidance, that inner trust. Because it's like I want it so bad. I want my heart desires so bad that I use my intuition as my compass to guide me to what it is that I desire. So I want to say this. If you are, and I'm going to read this, but it's my words. If you are struggling to trust yourself, start small. One breath, one pause, one honest check-in. I know trusting yourself is kind of a hard task, but I want you all to remember, trust isn't found, it's remembered. It's already something that's dwelling inside of you. It's just waiting for you. So if you like what I talked about on this video, and you want to feel how it feels to actually trust yourself. Meet me in my next video where I will guide you all through a meditation that will help you trust that inner guidance. Bye, until next time.